And good evening, everybody. No, let's wait for a second. At least until the stream gets started. Come on, stream, get started. Yay, live. Good evening, everybody. My name is Oseh, and tonight we are on Field Mountain. Mrs. Oseh is currently ploughing our last grass field, and I'm running around seeding them with grass just afterwards. See if I remember how to do all this. Okay, that should be good. Oh, this is not a square field. Ooh. Doing this should give us a good yield next time we mow this stuff. Potentially 5 o'clock in the evening, we should be done by the end of the day. Don't think we can go to sleep till about 8 o'clock. Okay, that's one side of the edge. Oh, yeah, I forgot. We have the gear shift mod, whatever that's called. On so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to try and plough this one in rows rather than running round and round and round. No. And good evening, Hail Team. Hail Team says hi, by the way.
Hello.
Okay. So that field you're on's a bit of an hourglass shape, so you probably end up doing one half and then the other half. So advance notice for next week, there will be no streams from Friday through Monday. It's Memorial weekend. And we have a lot of stuff going on. And depending how much stuff we end up getting done on Monday, how tired we're feeling, There might be a Monday night stream, but there is no guarantees of one at this time. Not sure. Yeah, no, I am missing bits on this. Half of it is the tree shadows. And I'm not holding a very straight line, so trying to keep the overlap to as minimum as possible. However, I don't really need to worry about that on this seeder, because it's not a cultivator, it's not tearing up the seed, so it's only using seed where there isn't any in the ground yet. So thanks for that. Yeah, I think it's also last day of school for the 4-year-old this week. But the 6-year-old has another 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Which means we'll have semi-quiet days during the week. Although the 4-year-old only goes to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we just don't get those to ourselves anymore. I did a little bit of law folds off camera today, which has seen me take the new field and finish off seeding it with oilseed radish, and it still didn't start raining. I think how's he doing the zoo this week? Plus, the upper school is going off to the middle school for a visit, but she's not upper school, so that doesn't affect her. And they've been doing orientations for new parents who are changing schools. Or who are joining the schools. But we kind of know all that because we did that with the different batch of kids. Going to cost. Nope, the brake's the other pedal. Oh, come on. And yes, forward here. As I said, still getting used to the gear shift mod. And obviously playing some Farm Sim 17 doesn't help, because while everything's set up the same in both games, there are some mods that are available in one that aren't available in the other one. Yeah, back in my day, which is a long time ago in a different country, I don't remember quite so many teachers' days off. And there was far less admin. The administrators also used to teach in some cases. I don't know how much that has changed back in the UK. But it's something a lot of people say about British healthcare. It used to be that most of the money went to doctors and nurses, and now most of the money goes to administrators. Similar to US colleges, actually. I think the last stat I heard was in the last 30 years, the admin budget on most colleges has gone up 500%. As with most services, you get what you pay for. What did I just do? I turned that off. Now, when I was at school, we used to go swimming every week. Pretty much the entire school went swimming every week. And it was basically organised into sort of probably approximately an hour at the local public swimming pool, which basically, because it was the public swimming pool was run by the local council, and so were all the schools. Our school basically had Thursday mornings, but we didn't have to pay extra to do that. Now, I think the sports teams had to pay for use of the school bus. We had a little minivan, so 15-seater, so you could take your team off to another school to play in an after-school match. But a lot of the money for the school bus came from sort of the summer fair and various sort of money-gathering escapades throughout the year. So the onus wasn't entirely on the parents whose kids did stuff. Now, we did have a trip up to the National Railway Museum in York, and that we did have to pay for, but it wasn't a school trip, it was a trip organised by the school teachers, one of who was interested in trains and he wanted to go, and he got a couple of others interested. And then they said, okay, well, we'll offer it to kids, but it wasn't mandatory, and it wasn't. It was basically, it was outside of school time as well. So it was basically, if your kid wants to go and you want to let him go, you can, and you'll need to pay something towards the train fare up there. So, I mean, York's about, let's say about 300 miles from London, maybe 200. But that's still a trek. What do we do on grass? Okay, we've still got a fair amount of seed in this. Okay, somewhere over here there should be a Mrs. Oseh. Ploughing the land. There we go. I see you. I'll probably start around here so you don't rip up my seed. Mrs. Oseh has a nice metallic blue Valtray. So, warning for anybody who wants to play this map, it can be very graphically intensive. So you either need to have your graphic settings turned down, or you need a very powerful computer. I have the latter. But there is an awful lot of trees around. And they can take it out of a system quite badly. Okay, go a bit further south. Oh, yes, there isn't a go backwards pedal. There's a select reverse and then go pedal. Yeah, sorry about that. Ripping up my seed. Oh, okay. I'm not going up to that bit yet. I'm just going to go straight up and down at the bottom here, so that I think the other deal with taking kids to the water park and what have you is because it's not owned by the local education authority, they still have to pay for the use of it. very close to the edge of that field. There we go. Yeah, with my family, the age ranges were typically 3 years. So there's 3 years between myself and my sister. And all of our first cousins are about 3 years apart as well. I think most of the related foster kids we've had, generally about 2 years between them, rather than 3. Interesting point. Yeah, I don't know about the water park. I mean, I can see. I mean, my school, when we had school trips, used to be Science Museum, Natural History Museum. I think we did Regent Park Zoo 1 year. Well, 1 year we did a dairy farm as a school trip. And I can see, okay, there is educational value to going to a museum or going to a zoo or going to a farm. I'm not sure what the educational value is for going to a water park. I'll give you that much. This time of year we used to do major school concerts with competition. So what's it? Up until the time my voice broke, I won the male solo singing every year. I think it was male only. There was a female competition, male competition. And after my voice broke, it broke bad, and I couldn't sing reasonably for about 3 or 4 years, by which time I was out of school. We had reading competitions and song and dance competitions and stuff like that. We kind of provided our own entertainment. Okay, I wonder how far I can get through here. Not very. Well, I think no matter what, this'll be the last batch of kids we take care of. So they'll either be adopted or we'll call it done. Because we are getting old. And it's quite stressful. and this time around we were thinking we may continue a sort of backup for people who need breaks and what have you, doing respite care. With that, you usually get, a group of kids for a week or thereabouts. But even that can get quite draining at times. Okay. Stop eating my seed, birdies. Leave the seed in the ground, we'll get grass grow and you can eat the worms. Did. That's okay then. I haven't got there yet. I'm filling in the neck. So what you're saying is I shouldn't go around the edge then. Okay. Yeah. Suppose I could run this around the edge though. Yeah. Now I find that does depend on the circumstances. The first foster kids we had, we had very bad vibes about Mum, but the judge was no reunification at all costs, and basically pushing CPS. What are you doing to make this happen? And obviously nobody consults the foster parents, but we're like, she's not ready. She's not in any way, shape or form behaving herself. The underlying cause of her losing her kids hasn't gone away. And it was literally a couple of months. CPS was back in there and taking the kids away for the second time. So we got them the second time. Now after that, Mum was classified disabled, so she didn't have to work, she just had to have a legal source of income, as the judge put it. So disability counts as a legal source of income, but it really doesn't help someone who has issues. It just encourages them to stay home, if you like. But she went and got a job, and from there she put her life together, and I think because she felt she was then a productive member of the community, it gave her a bit of self-esteem, and so she stopped doing what she had been doing and neglecting the kids. And obviously she's she still has the bout of, it's really hard work raising 4 kids as a single mum. Well, yes it is, but at least you're not making 5 or 6 more kids. So, this time, that time around when the judge was sort of saying, reunification needs to happen, we're like, now you can't say for definite someone has fixed their life ever. There's always the possibility of relapse. However, she was in a much better place, and she changed her outlook from life is hard, my life sucks, so woe is me, to I've got some kids and I need to be taking care of them. And because for at least 2 of the kids, I'm pretty much the only dad they knew. Well, yeah. Okay, you could probably clean that up and put it away. It goes back in the shed. I think the door on the shed's still open. I think the thing with the elder boy was he'd been, he was with his mother for the longest time, and he didn't like his status quo being destroyed or uprooted. The other 2 kids were taken so early and had been neglected quite significantly that when it comes to having a dad, and to a certain extent a mum, my wife and I were it. And so they decided, Mum decided that this time around it was probably a wise idea to keep the kids having contact with us, so we get to see them every 3rd weekend, approximately. And occasionally we'll help out if she's got something happening in the weekend. We'll take the kids on an unexpected weekend, if you like. I don't think we've had issues with any of the other parents. I mean, there was one kid we had, and basically his mum had been underage. She hadn't graduated from school. She didn't have a job. She really didn't have a clue how life worked, and she had a kid who was he had medical issues, and she wasn't staying on top of those. But I think, CPS was working with her, and she had a boyfriend who was interested, and so, they were helping her get her GED and stuff like that. And that's pretty much what she'd been missing. I don't know if I'm going to fit through there. Oh yeah. I think most of the rest of them were respite care, temporary placements on their way somewhere else. Sort of, it's an emergency, we need somewhere to put these kids for a week or two. And when they left us, they weren't getting reunified with their parents, they were going to another foster family. Yeah, the problem is you kind of get attached to them, and then it can be mentally very draining to let go every time. There's you! Hi, you! Huh? Well, I was close enough. I decided to do this with my lights on so I can see where I'm going, because these shadows are kind of crazy. Okay, one more pass, I think, and I'm going to have to reverse. Wrong button. There we go. And we'll drop that and hopefully get this all in one go. Looks good to me. Yay. Okay. Raise, turn it off. Oh, we're back at the farm already. I can't believe I did that. Okay, let's try that again. Yay. Tractor's held up well on cleanliness. Cedar, not so much. Whoa. And we are going to have to get a workshop sometime. How's the equipment look? That one there. Ooh. Okay, I think that's the baler, and that's one of the tractors. Oh, that's quite possibly my tractor needs fixed. Oh, that's probably not surprising. I'll leave the seed in this. Since that's all you can put in it. I think there's enough room in here for both of us. Oh, that's close enough.